Welcome back to Force Education. This is Ed. Today we're going to be talking about ARDX. Now, this company here haven't covered before, so this is the first in this series, but we're going to dive a little bit onto who they are and some of their products. So for this company here, as kind of you're able to see in the first few names here, things like right here, from discovery through commercialization, all of us at ARDX are driven patient care with targeted first-class novel mechanism therapies that address significant unmet medical needs. We developed a unique and innovative platform that enabled the discovery of new biological mechanisms and pathways to create targeted first-in-class oral small molecules therapies. So that kind of already gives you that they are a pharmaceutical. Now, they also do define themselves, of course, specialty biopharmaceutical company founded with a mission to discover, develop, and commercialize innovative first-in-class medicines that meet significant unmet medical needs today. Basically, you're able to understand who they are. Now, moving on to some of the important metrics, such as their second quarter 2022, to kind of understand where the profits lie. So some of their highlights, as they have highlighted themselves, is the tenapanor, the first and only NHE3 inhibitor approved for treatment for IBS-C in adults, and Ardelyx potential peak net revenue greater than $500 million annually, with large and established IBS-C markets in need for new therapeutic options, and small specialty sales organization, and focused digital marketing and target high prescriptions and dissatisfied patients. The company continues to pursue approval for tenapanor in hyperphosphatemia. That's a hard name to pronounce, and excuse me for that. Now, they did talk a little bit about their 5 years mission, and over 9,000 handwriting physicians accounting for approximately 50% for almost 5 million prescriptions written, yada yada. There's nothing much important here other than just maybe a bit of the highlights over there. And in terms of numbers, in terms of exact profits and stuff, they're biopharmaceuticals, so there's nothing really to talk about. Now, on the other thing here on Finviz, you're able to see there's a bit of attention for this stock, where it jumped from 0.92 to around $2, but before it was around almost $10 earlier on in this year, around April. So we're going to discuss a little bit of the fundamentals and what happened there. So first off, the price over book, you're able to see it's 1.99. Not so bad for a biopharmaceutical. I've seen around 4 and 5, so technically could be double and still would be somewhat on par with the market. But price over sales is around 15.76, as a lot of biopharmaceuticals are. Price over sales is something very horrible, and they usually have a horrible return on assets and investments. Now for this one, respectively, it's 82% loss on return on assets and return on investments, 106% loss. So that is currently anticipated, and the earnings per share is 1.53. They're mainly in research and development phases rather than currently making massive profits through products. Now, the first discovery here, this is the one that we're talking about, which is a first-in-class approved in the US and Canada for treatment in adults with irritable bowel syndrome with constipations, which is the IBS-C. Now, this one here will be, or they plan to launch in the second quarter of 2022, and they have established a commercialization agreement with Fosun Pharma in China and in the Knight of Canada for this indication. Knight is currently marketing IBSRELA in Canada. The 50 mg tablet is a prescription medicine used in adults to treat irritable bowel syndrome with constipation. So they do talk a little bit about some of the details, but they have a bit of a launch plan around the second quarter of 2022, so 2 quarters from now. There might be some influx of profits, at least at the start, and hopefully that continues on to move on forward. In terms of other products, they do have other products in the pipeline, such as, for instance, right here, tenapanor for hyperphosphatemia. So this one here as well does talk about some of their actual targets. So here it's a unique mechanism action and acts locally in the gut and inhibits the sodium hydrogen exchanger. The result in the discharge of the epithelial cell conjunction replaces permeability specifications to phosphate, resulting in a decreased phosphate absorption through the pathway. Now, they also have different ones as well, like ARDX 0, 13, and 20. Some of their actual products are discussed deeply in other pages, but we're just going to dive right above this one just because as the mission of this video isn't really to explain in depth their products. If you enjoyed this video so far, make sure to click the subscribe button on the bottom right corner and leave notifications on, and don't forget to drop a like. Now let's move on towards technical analysis. Now from a technical analysis perspective, there's not a lot here that you haven't probably interpreted from just the charts. After all, technical indicators are nothing more than chart interpretation tools. So what we're able to see is the moving averages are getting a lot better. The stock price is above the moving average bands. So yes, that is obvious with a massive jump of almost 100% on the stock. Now the ARDX is suggesting that this is a strong trend at 32.40. Now you might start considering selling around 45 on this ARDX, where it starts suggesting more of a certainty for a reversal. William percent R, which is very similar to RSI, is neither sitting at overbought or oversold, even though it's closer to overbought, showing there's more demand than supply for the stock at this current level. MACD. This one is ever so showing it's bullish. The stock price is increasing, or stock momentum, my bad, with the MACD histogram is increasing and pushing forward, and that's a bullish thing to see. In terms of momentum is dropping a bit downwards. It's suggesting more of a pullback a bit in price, as you get to see, but nonetheless still very bullish. Now, stochastic fast and stochastic slow. Both are suggesting to be very careful. It can easily hit the next support and rest there. In case of this one, the next support would probably be around 149, which is very close to that price. So it's within reach for this indicator. Now the moving average bands indicates that this one is probably going to be trading between 123 and 101, even though the moving average bands are expanding upwards, and that's a bullish thing. The Bollinger bands are between 152 and 71 cents. So you can expect that this stock does rest on the Bollinger Band at the top, and it is. Now, in terms of Fibonacci retracements, I only take into consideration the price all the way from August till now, and I'll show you why in a second. But the Fibonacci retracements for this one has a resistance at the 157, 177, and 203. Supports are 128, 110, and 82 cents. Now, if you were just to take a look from behind, you're able to see that this stock here has gone from 1632 to 150. In 2018, it did top around $8 and then drop all the way to $2, jumping back to $9 just in April as it flunked overnight from 743 to 199. Now, for just basic supports and resistances, I'm going to highlight a few here so we're able to see the current support is sitting at 153, going down to 138, and then downwards to 128, 119, 110, and then downwards to 99 cents and 82 cents. Resistances, you're sitting upwards to 167, 178, 193, 206, and around 218, and then you start seeing a massive jump, but you're gonna have to go all the way back to actually realize closer resistances. 252, 279, 327, and then up to 344, 388, jumping up to 419, going to 481, 523, 554, and 603, going upwards to 644. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? You got to be very careful because of the massive volumes it's currently seeing. This stock in general has seen its jumps and dips in history quite more often. This is record volume, so you got to be very careful onto this one. But I do anticipate for it to hold very close to around, let's say 149. If it drops anything between or below 138, I would consider just dropping it because momentum and volume would probably be damaged significantly to bounce upwards again. But this stock is definitely currently playing on volume and a gamble because the launch date isn't in the next few days, but rather it's in the second quarter of 2022. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.